Hypnosis to Change Your Life with Dr. Steve G. Jones.
What is the process to become a hypnotherapist? What kind of training and school do you have to go through?
Okay, great question. So when we look at how someone becomes a hypnotherapist, right now it's a lot different than I hope it's going to be in the future. With my doctorate in education, I plan to lobby Congress and talk to them in a convincing way about the need for standardization of credentials on a federal level. Right now we have it state by state. Florida's kind of tight on hypnotherapy credentialing. Georgia's not. California is. So you just don't know. It's kind of a grab bag. And any of it can change at any time. Different states in the United States will come up with different credentials at any given time just because they had a legislative session and a new piece of legislation came out of it. So it's a little strange right now in terms of what's required. However, once you find out in your state whether you need to be licensed or whether you need to be a mainstream therapist, the main thing is to find out if you need to be a mainstream licensed therapist in addition to being a hypnotherapist, such as a marriage and family therapist or a PhD psychologist or anything that's licensed. Some states require that. You will not be a hypnotherapist unless you are otherwise licensed as a therapist. In some states, you cannot call yourself a hypnotherapist. You have to call yourself a hypnotist, which in my mind sounds like a stage hypnotist doing funny things on stage. But in some states, they're very adamant about that. Now, getting all that out of the way, let's put that aside for now. In addition to that, you need to have training. Once you find out what the legalities are, you still need to have training. So there are a lot of different ways to get certified. There are programs that are 2 years long, where you go and you pay a fair amount of money, about $10,000 or more a year, and you go through a 2-year program. I'm not opposed to that, but I do know that it's unnecessary because the federal government does not recognize that as being any better than a shorter certification. Maybe you feel better, maybe you like the interaction of having fellow students and going through a lengthy program, but it is not leading to any kind of degree such as a bachelor's degree or a master's degree or a doctorate. It's just what they decided in their company, they're run by companies, what they decided would be the appropriate length of time for certification. So whether you take a week-long certification or a 2-year certification, as far as the federal government is concerned in the United States, there's absolutely no difference. So it comes down to personal taste and personal preference. What I recommend is think about whether you want to go to an in-person training or whether you prefer to learn through distance training. I offer distance training, and I previously didn't because I didn't believe in it. Now I do because I started looking at Ivy League schools. I started looking at Harvard, which offers distance training, distance certification. They have different certifications you can get at a distance. A lot of Ivy League schools now offer that. And when I was going through the coursework for my doctorate and even at the master's level, I was becoming aware of these. So I started developing our online program, which is robust with a online student resources area where you can watch videos of other students. You can look at other students' work. You can see the chat areas where they talk about their work and so forth. And you can really have a full experience from your living room, if you want, or from wherever you are online. And you can interact with the teacher, who is me. You can get feedback on videos you produce and audios you produce and so forth. So, but maybe you don't like that. Maybe you prefer in-person one-on-one training. So the way you become, to answer your question, the way you become certified as a hypnotherapist is to go through a certification program. And the way you pick a certification program is to find one that you feel will work right for you.
Hypnosis to Change Your Life with Dr. Steve G. Jones.